What's good, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to be showing how I design a large-scale graffiti text design in Photoshop. Usually, these types of designs would be near impossible to print, but huge thanks to today's sponsor, Pod Partner, and their new print technology, it's easier than ever. We're going to be going over a couple tips and tricks on how to edit and manipulate text. I really hope you guys can learn something from this, so be sure to follow along, and let's jump right into it. First things first, when it comes to designing these oversized graphics, of course, we want to make sure we're on an oversized canvas. So today's canvas is going to be 24 inches by 24 inches at 300 dpi. And then with today's design, we're going to be working on a graffiti style word design. So we have a font here called Vandalus Graffiti. I'll be sure to link this in the description below so you guys also have access to it. I also have a couple assets here that we're going to be utilizing today for this design. So I have a sparkle, I have some paint splatters, I also have another paint splatter here. And these are going to be the puzzle pieces that we're using today to build up our design. So let's jump right into that. So now here on our canvas, what I want to do is go ahead and type out our text. Today's text is going to type out Quattro, but we're going to be taking it letter by letter. So let's type out that first letter, which is going to be our C. And I'll show you why we're taking it letter by letter here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and get this centered, get this aligned to the center of our screen. And then now we're going to go down here to our effects panel and start adding in some effects to start building up this design. So we'll go here to our effects and we're going to add a stroke layer first. And our stroke layer is going to be just set to red, and we're going to have this at about 70 pixels. Once that's good, we're going to go up here to our bevel and emboss layer. These are going to be the settings for that. So our style is going to be outer bevel. The technique is chisel hard. We have our depth at 375, direction up, size 20, soften 10, angles at 90, 30. And then we just have one of the gloss contours selected now. And then we have our lighten all the way up and our multiply all the way down. Once the stroke and the bevel and emboss look good, we want to go down here to gradient overlay. And this is going to be the settings that we're using. So we just have it maxed out. And I have a red all the way down here at the bottom of our curve. So the red just dictates what's going to be this bottom design. Our gradient is going up because that's the angle we have it selected at. So whatever we want this darkest color to be, for this, I want it to be that same red from our outer stroke. For this middle, I just have this peach orange kind of color selected, and that's going to be that middle part. So let's find that orange again, and that's going to be there. And then here at the top, I just have this really, desaturated, pasty kind of yellow, not full white, because we want to keep the kind of red theme all the way up. So we'll just leave it at a nice pasty yellow, something like that. Okay, and I think that looks pretty good so far. And now I'm going to decrease the size some, and I'm going to move this over here to the side. And now from here, what I want to do is copy and paste this. So just drag this down here, or we can Command C and then Command V. So now from here, what I want to do is kind of drag this and make this smaller so we leave space for the rest of our word here. And what we could do is take the C layer that we're on and drag it down here to this plus button. And what that does is it duplicates it, or we could just Command C and Command V, and that'll do the same thing. But for the second letter, what we want to type out is the U. So like I said, we're just typing out Quattro. So we're just going to take this letter by letter. And now the reason that we're taking this letter by letter is just so we can kind of build this up and it can be a little bit more customizable than just typing out the font straight. And I think that'll look very nice. So we're going to put our U right about there. And I'm just going to go through and do the rest of the wording as well. Of course, this could be whatever word relates to you or your brand, but these are just the general steps that I would kind of to guide you. And then we're going to make this a little bit smaller as well as we continue to build out this word. So now we have our A. So the next thing, we're going to go on to our T. And also the good thing about this method is all of our effects are copying over, so we don't have to keep applying them because we're just copying and pasting our existing design. I'm going to put this below our A. Then resize this one more time so we can get our O in here. Put our O, and then just place that all the way down here at our end. And I think that's looking pretty good so far. So now what we can do is go ahead and group all of this up. So now from here, once we have all of our letters laid out and we have them overlapping in the order that we want, if we wanted to kind of arrange anything and put anything below another layer, we can also do that. This method just gives us a lot of flexibility when it comes to designing our fonts like this. So I want to make sure that we can see this R a little bit more. Adjust the angle on that some. Once we have that looks really nice. We're going to go ahead and group up our Quattro. And this is just going to be our main kind of graphic here. And then from here, what I want to do is duplicate my group. And then I'm going to lock down this bottom group and call this our main for now. This original Quattro, in case we need to go back and make any adjustments, we can do that. But for our main group, we're going to Command E and we're going to merge everything together. And what that allows us to do is turn this into one singular image. And like I said, if we want to go back and make any edits or adjustments, we also have this working layer down here where we can go ahead and tweak anything from there. But our design looks pretty good, so we're going to work from here. Now that we have this, what I want to do is go ahead and add one more stroke, and this stroke is going to be black. We can have this stroke at about 75, I think looks pretty cool. And then we're going to decrease this size a little bit. And now from here, also what I want to do is go ahead and transform this text a little bit. We're going to make it a little bit taller and also take the sides in a little bit just so it looks a little bit more graffiti style. But try to make sure we don't go too crazy with it. I think that's looking pretty nice. And now we want to go back to those design assets that we were talking about earlier. We're just going to pull in this first splat graphic here. And we're going to place this right about here just so we can see it. And then we're going to go to image, adjustments, and we're going to add a threshold to it. And that's just going to turn our design black. And that's exactly what we want. And this already doesn't have a background, so that's good. We don't have a background we need to knock this off of. And now from here with this little splat graphic, what I want to do is go to this checkerboard kind of thing right here next to lock. And what this does is it locks all of our pixels. And I'll show you what that does. So now we want to select one of these red colors, and we want to make sure we have a good size brush selected as well. And we're just going to color right over our splat graphic here. That locks in all of our pixels. So any color that we would want to make this, it allows for us to make it that color. But I think this red looks nice. So what we want to do with this red is pull it down here. And this is just going to kind of act as a little bit of like overspray that kind of goes over our design in certain places, certain areas. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller as well, because I don't want this to be too overbearing. It's just a little small detail effect that we're adding in. Now I'm going to copy that. And while we're here as well, I'm going to call this our splat red. And I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to move that around to some other places that kind of hit this red. And we can also rotate it so we get a little bit of a different effect. If you wanted to, you can also pull in different splat shapes or even make your own. But for this, I'm just going to be using this one design. And now we're going to just keep placing this in a couple other places as well. And now we can group these up. And these are going to be our splat reds. And now we can take that first one that we had done, and then we're going to copy that. And now we're going to start doing that for our other colors as well in our gradient here. So we have this pasty yellow again. So we're going to repeat the same step. Make sure this is also locked. If you're familiar with Procreate, this is similar to the alpha lock feature where you can make anything a color. So we have this pasty yellow now on our splat. And we're going to do the same kind of thing to our yellows up here, just so it looks a little bit more lively and a little bit less like just a generic font. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, going around in some certain places where I can see this kind of spray paint splatter going a little bit off of our design, and try not to go too overboard with it as well. And now I'm going to group these up, and these are going to be my splat yellows. And then we just want to do one more kind of round of those, and that's going to be that middle orangish color. And for these, I really don't want to do too many at all. I might just do, but let's go ahead and color pick that middle color again, or somewhere in there. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our splat design, same way we've been doing with our locked kind of graphic. So now once we have that, so we have our splatters on top of our Quattro design that we've already done. And now we're going to group this one up, and we can call this our Quattro 2. And what we're doing here with the groups and the layering is basically non-destructive designing. And what that allows us to do is at any time go back and adjust anything from kind of our previous design. So we're not locking anything in place. So of course we started here. And if we wanted to go back and change this O to, I don't know, anything else, we could do that. And then we could just kind of copy and paste the same steps going forward, moving throughout our design. So this kind of shows the steps. So this would be our Quattro 1. We started from here, Quattro 2, and we're going to do one more group. Now we're going to, on this Quattro 3, merge this group now. And on this one, we're going to add in some more effects. And we're going to add in a light baby blue stroke, something kind of like here, a little bit pasty, just so it gives us a nice bit of contrast off of all this harsh red. I think something in there looks pretty nice. And we're going to go with the size of 60 for this as well. And now let's go back to our splats, and we're going to pull in this one. And these are just images that I pulled off of Google. And then what I want to do is go ahead and go to image, adjustments, and threshold. And this is something I do with all of the designs that I pull in as well. Just so we can get the most amount of texture and detail out of these designs that we're pulling and really turn them into ours. And we're going to knock out the background on this. Now let's go back here to our lock pixels tool. And then we're going to select the same blue from our stroke. And then we're going to just color right over that. And we're going to put this behind our Quattro 3 layer. So I'm going to call this our splat blue. This one is going to just kind of be like a little bit of spray paint drip coming off of our graffiti design here. So I'm just going to kind of find where I want this to go, where I think this could sit pretty nicely. That's a nice spot for it. I'm going to add in another one, just copying and pasting, fitting this anywhere I can kind of see fit. Maybe let's get one more in here as well. Maybe we try this top one here. So I'm just going to make sure we do a little rectangle tool and delete everything else that we don't want. So I'm going to pull that splat back in. I think that's looking pretty cool. I'm going to add one more in. So I'm going to pull that splat graphic back in again. And I'm just going to knock out everything that's not the one that I want to work with. I think I want to work with this top one for now. Again, apply that same little threshold layer so we can just get what we're working with. And then we're going to knock out that background again. And then just rinse and repeat that same step. Make sure this one is set to blue. Put this behind everything again. And then I'm just going to add that right about there. Do one more, maybe like down here. And I think that's looking really nice so far. So the last graphic that we haven't done anything with is the sparkle now. So we're going to pull this in above everything. Make this pretty large really quick. And we're going to do the same threshold to it. Now, once we pull that sparkle in, I'm going to go to threshold again. And we can just edit and adjust to see exactly what we want from this. That looks pretty good. So I'm just going to click on our background now and delete that. And then I'm going to put this right about there. And now for this, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I want to go to filter. And then we're going to go to blur, Gaussian blur. And I'm going to add a blur of about 5 pixels to this. And then I'm going to drop this down in size. And then I'm just going to start adding these in a couple places where I think it can kind of complement the piece nicely and not take away too much. So around some of these little highlight areas. And I think this just adds a nice little punch, a nice little detail to go along with our graffiti style design here. Final ones here. And yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. So now from here, let's go ahead and group everything up from our Quattro 3 layer. And again, we can just kind of see the progression that we've made already from starting here to moving on to our Quattro 2 to moving on to our Quattro 3 now. And like I said, if we wanted to go back and for some reason adjust any of these splatters or anything like that, we have the opportunity to do so. But we're back here with our Quattro 3. And that just about wraps up our design. I want to do one last quick thing. And that's just going to be typing out supply 2025 with this. I'm going to set this to black and I'm going to put this right here, kind of like a little subtext for our design, just so it looks a little bit more complete. And I'm going to add that to our Quattro 3 group as well. And now that we're rounding out our oversized graphic here, what we want to do is make sure this looks good on a shirt. So let's go up here to layer, new artboard, and we're just going to add in a new artboard. And that creates a new artboard for us. So now here on our second artboard, what we want to do is go to Quattro's Photoshop mockups, and we're just going to be pulling the basic front tee. So we're going to go ahead and select the color black, and we're going to go ahead and place this down on our screen. So we'll place that right about there. And then let's just expand this to size a little bit, and then I'm going to duplicate it. Now that we have our outlines, I'm just going to add some white to our background, and that's just going to be the color of our tee. And now let's go to this Quattro 3, and I'm going to duplicate it one more time, and then I'm going to merge that. So now from here, we have this one singular layer, and that's exactly what we need to see how this looks mocked up on our tee. So let's take it over here, copy, paste again. It's already looking pretty cool. But here, let's do create a clipping mask. And I'm just going to downsize this a little bit. And this is looking really nice so far. Just going to make sure everything is centered and lined up. I'm really liking how this is looking. I'm just going to get this lined up to where I need it to be. And then from here in our layer styles, we can even set this to multiply just so it blends in a little bit with our t-shirt. So now that we see how this looks mocked up on our tee, we can go back to our design artboard here and add a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And we can just kind of play around with the colors and see, if we want to make any adjustments or do any kind of colorways. This is how we'd want to do that. And then we could take this, of course, back and forth to our t-shirt and, kind of see what that looks like with different color t-shirts. But I think for this oversized tee design, everything looks pretty good to me. And let's just take one more look at how Pod Partner's print turns out in real life. Thank you again to Pod Partner, and if you guys are interested in print for your own garments and designs, be sure to check them out via the link in the description. As a designer, I'm tired of seeing flat basic prints that look like every other tee. Most print on demand is just ink. It looks cool, but sometimes it just feels flat. But with Pod Partner, it's different. They use a triple hybrid process, so you got a DTG photo base, an embroidered logo, and metallic accents all on one t-shirt. And the difference is honestly crazy. The HTV has texture, the embroidery pops, and the metallic catches the light. So if you're a designer and tired of just settling for ink, try the world's first triple hybrid process, print on demand at Pod Partner. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Pack and other products of mine are available now on my website at quattrosupply.com. So if you're interested, definitely be sure to check those out. There's also a lot we didn't get to go over today, which is fine. Just be sure to leave a comment below of what you want to see more of, and I got y'all with that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.